All right, all right. This is Daniel, and you're watching POV Pool, but today it's POV 3 Cushion. Today it's POV 3 Cushion. Sorry, I was just distracted there. We're just starting this stream live from the home studio. What is going on? Let's get a audio check, and let's make sure everybody can hear us in the live stream. This is Daniel Bush. I'm sitting here with Alan Castillo. What's up?
What's up, Daniel? What's up? What's up? Glad to be here. Visiting LA area, all the billiard families. My sister lives down here too, so we're here for the extended weekend.
Yep, that's right. It's Labor Day weekend, right?
Yep.
And you are a Northern California resident. Your sister lives down here, so good, man. I'm glad you came to visit us. And we scooped you from your family, actually.
Yeah, well, I haven't even seen my family, to be honest. I got off the bus and went straight to the billiard room. I still have I have my luggage with me. Had to borrow a cue stick, and we still made it. We still played a tournament last night, so you know.
Yeah, you literally took a great Greyhound here.
Yeah, took a bus here. Got in, went straight to the pool hall.
Yeah. Your volume is apparently low. Do you mind if I change your channel real quick?
Go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna change. How we doing now for Alan Castillo?
Yeah,
Let's
check.
see.
Hopefully they
Well,
can
Ray
hear me.
says I can hear now. I don't know. And we've now got internet. Okay, that's Alan Castillo, everybody. And he's standing with a Bob Tracy, right?
Yeah, that is Mr. Bob Tracy there, the late Bob Tracy. Wonderful man, enthusiastic ever since the day I met him. Loved billiards, did so much for the billiard community in Northern California and the Pacific Northwest. The Ashland Elks, tables, all the materials, thanks to him, did a lot for promoting the sport. And you can see, I mean, even in that picture, you know, he's playing what he loved, doing what he loved to do.
Yeah.
And he was very enthusiastic. I mean, you know, I'm not sure how old he was, but he loved playing billiards. That was at the Marty Memorial. His wife had died a couple years before that, and he was hosting a memorial tournament for her. And now it's his and hers memorial tournament. You know, we do it every year, and it'll be the first weekend of October. So
yeah, that's coming up. That's Bob. So that's Bob Tracy, and he was he wanted to go with his guns ablazing.
I mean,
that's right.
That's
That's why they can't hear you.
He was always you know, did what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
And he was going out his way, and
yeah,
he went out playing billiards, man.
I love that. That's a great story.
Yeah,
that's a great story.
Yeah.
All right, so and let's just quickly. Oh, this is family. Ooh, I should be careful which ones I show here. Hold on a second now. Let's back out of this and let's check this picture of you.
Okay. Yeah, there's a couple familiar face there. We have a friend of mine, Pablo.
At Edgy's.
Yeah, that's actually at that tournament, at the Bob Tracy Memorial Tournament.
Okay.
I think that was 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, this is you here.
That was the first year I went. Fortunately, you know, I was able to win that, and that's our friend Mark Williams. He was the director of it, and he no longer is in charge of that. So.
Yeah. Oh, here's you with Ertan.
Yeah.
And
that's Bob Tracy, Pablo,
Bob Tracy.
I think Ertan and myself, we played the final there. Just a lovely event. I mean, everyone gets along.
Ertan's in Washington, so he'll probably be at the Bob Tracy event.
Oh,
right?
yeah, I'm sure. I'll expect to see him there.
You're going to be there this year, huh?
I hope so. Yes, I hope.
Right on.
You know, I'm on the list, and hopefully.
That sounds like it could be an exciting event. Now, they've had this a couple years in a row. Now, you said Bob Tracy passed away.
Yes.
And he kind of bequeathed this added tournament every year in his name. Is
that
what he did?
Yeah, that's what
he
he's
had
still
some
doing.
money, so
He's still doing it. Yeah, I mean, he did it when he was alive, and now.
So there's a 3,000 added tournament, and it's basically added by him from the grave.
Yes.
That's amazing.
I mean, he loved it so much, and he's up there in heaven playing
Bob
billiards.
Tracy.
I guarantee you.
That's great.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, man.
So, all right, I'm gonna actually come off this now. We wanted to talk about a few things. Let's talk about like some of the hot news in billiards, right?
Okay.
The McCreery 3-cushion event,
Yeah.
right? Now that was amazing. That was a 600,000 added.
Yes, total prize money.
3-cushion event that took place.
I mean, that's unheard of. In billiards, that is unheard of. It was a fantastic tournament. Unique, innovative, one of a kind. Some of the best players in the world, the best 3-cushion players in the world.
Yeah.
Fantastic, to watch, be a part of it. I mean, there's, it's some stuff that we've never seen before.
There was quite a lineup. I mean, you had Torbjorn, Frederic,
you had
Kulemans, all these people that you see right here on your screen right now. Yeah.
It was a total of 12 players. You had the top 6.
Haejin Kim from Korea, and
the lefty,
and Cho, Sungwon Cho.
Yeah.
Or Jae, Sungwon Jae. I don't know.
I think that's the Korean pronunciation.
That's how Jeanette Lee pronounced it.
That's the
now,
Korean
let's talk about Jeanette Lee. Jeanette Lee was on commentary.
She was. I
mean, look at these stars. You got Eddie Merckx, Hugo Patino, Pedro, representing the U.S., and Hugo, Daniel Sanchez, Semi, Sagunar, Marco Zanetti. What a great lineup.
The best of the best.
And then you had a production team, I guess led by Bert Van Bonen and Kurt Kulemans, was it? Or I'm not really sure. But we had 5 commentators.
They Bert and Kurt obviously experts, of the game, and then I think reaching out to a new crowd, new public, and trying to get more people involved.
Yeah, I thought it was it's nice to try stuff new. I know there were some rocky. I mean, I don't want to provide any sort of. I don't want to be a critic, too big of a critic, but there were some rocky starts in the beginning of their stream, but things started to kind of iron out and get a little better. I was getting excited for this, for especially when the finals were coming around, and it was the final. I've got to write down what the final, or at least visit their website right now and check out what their final 8 was, because I can't remember what their final 4. That's what they did. It was. Oh wait, we have a screenshot of it. It was.
We had the 2 Belgians.
Calderon won the whole thing.
The 2 Belgians, Semi Segner and Dick Jaspers.
Yeah.
So the way it worked, you had the top 4 of the 12 would advance to a semifinal, and then Jaspers ended up number 1. He played number 4, which was Merckx.
Yeah.
And then Semi Segner, no one saw that coming, but he's been playing really, really well.
Yes.
He ended up number 2. He played the number 3, Quadron. Then
no, you really did not see that coming?
Well, you look at the names on the list, and you just see the rankings, and you just see. I know Semi Segner is a fantastic player, but he was out of the game for so long. He's been working his way up the last 4 or 5 years to get back in the top of the rankings.
So you really didn't see it coming. I mean, a lot of people probably did.
Well, he was playing well. He played well at the Verhoeven Open, 2 weeks prior to that. And he's been in the top 3 before, in the world. I think he's been world champ before as well. So, but in this game, if you stop playing for a certain amount of time, it takes time to get back to the top, to where you were. So he played fantastic.
So let me ask you a question though. Do you think if Torbjorn would have done a little bit better, that it may have shown up guys like Semi? The thing with Blumdahl had a rocky showing, didn't he? He had a tough showing after some surgery.
Yeah, he's not 100%.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know the details. That's his personal business, but he obviously was not 100%, because we know if Blumdahl's at 100%, he can beat anybody in the world.
Yeah,
without a doubt. So he's we're giving him a pass. Hopefully he finds his rhythm back in the LG Cup if he's playing, and in the World Championship, because he's an awesome player. You know, he plays shots that we never see before sometimes. So
Torbjorn.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah, very innovative. And hopefully he goes back to where he was just, you know, last year.
Yeah, yeah. Well, this is the internet. Listen, I just want to make a disclaimer here. I haven't asked any permission for any of these photos. So if you guys want to claim copyright on me, feel free. Go ahead. I'm just trying to help provide a little bit of news for you guys. And you know what I thought was cool about the McCreery was Q Le Mans.
Yeah.
Q Le Mans showing up.
Yeah, you know, the legend, I think, for the inaugural tournament. So
you know, his birthday's on the same day as mine.
And you know that's the same birthday as mine as well.
Really? Oh, that's
July
right, brother.
12th.
Yeah, I remember.
Yeah, so
I remember.
you, me, and Coolemans have the same birthday. That's funny.
Yeah.
Couple things I wanted to say about the McCreery. You know, anytime we have something that's never been done before, something as innovative and just something brand new.
Yeah.
There's always going to be critics. There's always going to be ups and downs. You know, but I think they did a great job of kind of getting some feedback and improving, and hopefully, you know, I know I speak for everybody when I say that we hope that they do this annually. You know, that this is an annual thing and it keeps improving.
And I would assume that everybody wants this to happen.
Of course. You know, I mean, regardless of what people say on the internet, because you're always going to have critics. You're always going to have people.
It's much needed for the billiard community.
It really is. You know, and we thank the sponsors and the people behind it, and we just hope that it continues to improve. And you know.
Yeah, I think it's great that this gentleman, Mr. Mercer. What was his first name?
I believe it's Robert.
Bob Mercer. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, made his whole home a and you know, he facilitated all these players and the production crew, and I would imagine that many of them were staying at the house as guests as well. You know, I mean, it's just amazing that you know, Bob Mercer was able to step up and do and help us with the production like this, help the billiard community with something like this.
Yeah, and we're fortunate enough, you know, that he had some interest in this, and because it's such a beautiful game, and we have to keep trying to promote it as much as we can.
It really is. It really is a beautiful game. Now, speaking of this beautiful game, three cushion, we're in the United States, and as you know, there's events happening in the U.S. too coming up, aren't there?
There's a couple of events happening.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think a couple of the ones that jump right off. I think the events that are coming up soon. I think Mason Shooney has an event coming up in a couple of weeks up in his spot in Massachusetts.
Yes.
September 15th weekend, and then 2 weeks after that, I believe there's a tournament in Rushville, Illinois. I think that one's a pretty popular tournament here in the
Bob
US.
Tracy one.
No, that one. And then that one is October 5th, that weekend.
Oh, that's not in Rushville?
No, the Rushville, Illinois.
Oh, the Rushville is the different one.
It's a different one, yeah. But I know a lot of people are always interested in that. And then we have the Ashland one. I think it's pretty. It's got a full field already. So that one is in October. And then we have kind of a dead point for a month or two until we have the big B tournament back in Tucson.
Okay.
That Mason does a good job of.
Yeah. We haven't even. I don't even think we've started artwork for that tournament, Alan.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So these are the places: Mason's room, Amazing Billiards in Boston, and then in Rushville. I don't have a poster for the one in Rushville.
I don't think they have anything. I think they just kind of word of mouth. It's been going on for a couple of years, so people know about it.
Yeah. And the USBA.net's always, good resource for the.
Yes.
So now I feel like I'm actually jumping around a little bit because we were talking about world events, and then all of a sudden I came local. But there's other stuff going on in the world too. The LG Cup's coming up.
Yes. So those are the couple of tournaments that are coming up. The LG Cup in Korea in Seoul, I believe, is a big event. First, I think the first one was last year. I think it was the inaugural tournament, but Marco Zanetti won that one. And honestly, before the McCreery, this was actually the biggest prize pool. I think Zanetti took if it was either 40 or 60,000 euros or $60,000. I think it was.
No kidding.
Yeah. And obviously with the McCreery, first place being 150,000, it was pretty big increase. But LG Cup is a great tournament. Very, very impressive field. And it's interesting. It's a different tournament because it's actually held at what seems to be almost like a shopping center. It's like almost in a mall when you look at the video. So
I believe it is.
Yeah,
it's got to be.
They have a couple of tables that are isolated, but you see a lot of people in the background. You hear a lot of noise. So I remember seeing a couple of the players talking about how different it was, and sometimes you had to focus on your concentration.
This is their last year's poster.
Yes.
To for those who don't remember the LG Cup, it was a great event. I mean, I could also grab some screenshots from the event from Korea, but this year's is sure to be good, and that's going to be put on by BilliardTV.net, correct?
Yeah.
Will that simulcast on Kozoom, you think, or?
I believe so. I think they would.
It'll be somehow. I feel like we're gonna be able to watch this.
Yeah, because Kozoom is based in Korea as well, so I think they'll be able to live stream it for us.
Yeah. Okay.
But it should be a great tournament. You look at the field, and you have the best players from Asia, and then obviously you have Quadron, Zanetti, Merckx, the familiar faces, and so it should be a great tournament.
Yeah, I agree with you, man. I agree. Hold on, let me get out of this because I think I've got internet. Okay, good. So let's see what else. Oh, by the way, everybody, we're going to actually do coverage on a match in a few minutes. We're going to do commentary on a match that was the finals of the California Open event, and I'm going to do it with Alan. So, you know, in fact, you already did do the commentary with Hector on
the original commentary. Yeah, I think we did the final. But you know, we'll look at it again.
We're just gonna do another one just for fun.
Yeah, but
look at it again. Yeah, you never know what you might see the second time around, huh?
I think there was also I think there was another tournament. Talked to Hector Ocampo, the owner of $1 Million Billiards in North Hollywood. If you haven't been there, you should go. It's great pool room. He was going to hold a tournament the weekend of September 22nd, I believe. 22nd and 23rd of September. He's hosting a tournament there.
Hector is at $1 Million. That's right.
Yeah. It's relatively new, so if you don't know about it now, you know. He's holding a tournament there. He's bringing one of the Mexican champions. For those that are interested in receiving some lessons, he'll be giving out lessons. I don't know much of the details, but
Hector usually if you're watching Hector, you should get a hold of me. He usually lets me know all the details, and I'll tell people about
I think
it,
it's relatively new. Like it's just
it's still forming.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Hector Ocampo, for those who don't know, $1 Million Billiards. He's been a host to several summertime tournaments, let's call them, you know, and he's brought over Frederic Caudron and Kyung-Ro Kim and Eddie Lepens and
Blomdahl,
and Blomdahl and Q Lemons. He brought them over and at 2 separate years, and they all participated in tournaments, and as a result, because of that, we had some very big tournaments here in California. So we're grateful to Hector for making those events happen, and this is the next one from Hector Ocampo.
Yeah,
$1 Million Billiards. That's cool because I haven't been there for a while. And you know what's funny is because when I go play billiards, I just go to the Elks Lodge. It's just close by, you know.
Yeah, I mean LA. The great thing about it, there's a couple of different pool rooms depending on what part of LA you are.
Yeah.
In Northern California, unfortunately, we don't have as many. Edgy's Billiards is probably the best pool hall out there. So.
Yeah. So look, I don't have a poster for this, but we're going to be going to Egypt as well.
We are going. Let's take the jet. Let's fly to Egypt. We will be there. I think the dates on that.
The World Championship is what we're talking about.
The first week of October, the World Championships will be in Cairo. We will have Kazoom's gonna be live streaming that. So if you don't have Kazoom, get it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Kazum will be live streaming the World Cup, and I think we have the groups there.
Yeah, the groups. I just put them on the screen here, and so let me actually magnify this a little bit too, because some pretty interesting. You were saying basically this is their format every year, right?
Yeah. So they have groups.
They have
of three.
groups of 3.
Yeah, you have the groups of 3, and then you advance to single elimination. But if you look at it, obviously, you look at some groups and you see some familiar names there. You see Quadrone, you see Merckx, and those should be the clear-cut favorites.
Yeah.
But then you go down, and then you see there's a couple of groups. Group E, you have Jaspers, who's the favorite, and then you have a tricky player like Robinson Morales, who's beat the #1 player, #2 players in the world. Then you go down, and then you have like group. What is it here?
How about this one with Semi?
Right there, you have Let's look at Jay. You have Blomdahl, who's not playing his best.
Yeah, Blomdahl, Pedro.
Pedro, who had a good showing in New York.
In New York at the McCreery.
Exactly. So that'll be a tricky one. L, I think, is a very, very tricky one as well. You have Tran and Ma, the 2 Vietnamese players. Any one of those guys can win that group. And
then you have Semi and Eddie Lepen's in the same with Juan Patiño,
yeah. It's not Hugo Patiño. If you're getting confused, if you heard that name before, Hugo Patiño is the previous U.S. champ. Juan Patiño is a player from Mexico. Good player.
Unrelated though.
Unrelated. Yeah. But in this group, obviously, you got to go with Lepen's or Sagener. You also have in Group M, you have Danny Sanchez, and you have a very, very dangerous player, Kang from Korea. Pedro Gonzalez, who is from Bogota, Colombia. He just won the Pan American Championship last month or the month before. So he's on fire. He won that, and then he won another tournament just in Medellin, La Feria de las Flores. So he's a player, dangerous, but. So there's a couple of interesting groups there. So it should be fun to watch, and obviously all these players want to be world champion. It's just a great honor to win that tournament. So we'll see what happens. It should be interesting.
It's a huge honor.
Of course.
I mean, it's the world's
world champion. Yep. So.
And isn't it funny though? I find it kind of funny. I mean, this is a reflection of how we really need to work towards growing the sport of 3-cushion billiards. I just want to point this out to you.
Mm-hmm.
You have groups A through O or A through Q? A through P. A through P. So that's 14, 15 groups of 3. Is that correct?
15 or 16.
So that's 45 players?
Yeah, approximately.
Right, approximately. This is a world championship, and it's 45 players.
Yeah.
If you take the world championship of 9-ball, the world's 9-ball, you'll see 400, 500 people enter.
Yeah.
The sport of 3-cushion. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
The sport of 3-cushion, I think, really needs to grow. It needs more players, which I'm glad. I think it's actually growing in Europe and Korea.
It's huge. I mean, we just don't see it here because it's not big here. But you go to any other part of the world, and
it is growing.
You walk into a pool hall, and you'll see 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 billiard tables.
Yeah.
You might see one pool table. So it's just not what it could be here in the States.
I also believe too it's very difficult. It's very difficult for the world to produce this caliber of player. In large numbers like they do for pool. Do you know what I mean? I think it's easier to play pool than it is 3-cushion. You understand? So that's why I think you get better players. You get more better players as well.
If I asked you, do you think there are more talented pool players or 3-cushion players in the world?
I would say
in the world.
Well,
not just in the States.
What I think is that 3-cushion players need more talent than pool players.
There's a lot of talent in Korea.
I think
there's a lot of talent in South America.
There is.
But like I said, we just don't see it out here. I mean, if you watch all the tournaments that go on, there's a bunch of talent.
Mm-hmm.
For them to narrow it down to what did we say, 45, 50
45,
players?
Yeah.
It's there's some players on there that are not on that list that can win the world championship.
Okay.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah.
So I mean, but I think for us, I think a good goal is to try to focus on developing players here in the States, because there's a lot of talent. We just don't see it here.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, the pool tournaments that you talk about, you have 300-400 players playing. You know, it's just unlike what we see in the billiard community.
Yeah, yeah. They actually, the U.S. Open 9 balls coming up, and that's 128 players, but that's only because it's been changed, you know. It's now 300,000 added by Matchroom Sport. Matchroom Sport bought the U.S. Open. Did you know that?
I did not.
Yeah, Matchroom Sport, the company that does, you know, the media company and promotion company that they're all huge in darts, snooker, British pool. All, you know, they've got deals with Sky Sports and other video distributors, media distributors across the world. So, you know, Matchroom Sport coming in and buying the U.S. Open has turned out to be a very good thing. We're very excited about that. But
that's great for pool.
Yeah,
that's fantastic.
Yeah.
You know?
So listen, do we have anything else to talk about? I mean, I think I just want to do want to say that if you want to learn more about billiards in the United States, to go to usba.net. You know.
Yeah, I mean, there's
a good place
welcome
to start.
back, everybody. This is Daniel Bush, POVPOOL at POVPOOL.com. We're going to start the final match here between Pedro Piedra Buena and Robinson Morales. There's going to be some quick introductions.
You got the Dennis Dieckman, by the way. We're going to offer our condolences to all the loved ones and friends of Dennis Dieckman, who passed away.
I just want to say
just a couple of weeks ago of some
Myra
form of cancer.
And, Ricky
I never got the honor to meet him, but I heard he was
putting together such a great event for Vache and Vic.
Yeah.
The owners
and I know I have a friend, Jameson New,
this is a great
spent
venue.
You know, his last moments with Dennis, and I know how hard that must have been to watch him pass.
And the girls that hang out
you know,
and play here.
I hope it makes you stronger. And
we've got
you
some
know,
of the
we
best
want to just
in
wish everybody
California
who cared about Dennis Dieckman. If you want to find out about the Dennis Dieckman Memorial event that's happening October 19th through 21st.
We had players from Northern California.
I believe it's going to be hosted by Mason.
Alan Castillo, Jose
yes, in Malden, Massachusetts.
Ray Raskin, he came down.
At Amazing Billiards.
It's just been a great event.
Definitely contact Mason Shooney. You've already got 11 players signed up out of a field of 24.
The finals will be between
so
Pedro
far.
Piedra Buena and Robinson
Limit 24.
Morales. It's going to be a race to 30 points, right? I believe.
Yeah, we've lost a couple
Unless
people
they change it,
year.
I don't know. But we'll find all that out when
players
match starts in progress.
That,
and
you know,
without further adu,
they've played nationals before.
I'm going to introduce
Jason Kim.
Hector Ocampo.
Jason Kim.
Is the owner of
really,
$1 Million
nice
Billiards
guy.
in North Hollywood.
Just
You got to
passed
check
away,
out his room too. He has been a wonderful promoter of this sport.
Really nice guy.
Over the past,
really good player as well. You know, passed away this past 6 months. So I mean, Bob Tracy obviously last year.
Yeah.
Now Dennis Dieckman. So yep, we're thinking about them, and hopefully they're playing billiards up there.
Yeah, I hope so too, man. Yes, exactly. Right, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
You can hear the balls in the distance, right?
Well, I know Bob Tracy's playing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That's how he wanted. Like I said, guns blazing, right?
That's right.
Yeah. All right. Well, listen, Alan. Do you want to just commentate this match now?
Yeah.
It's gonna be good.
We'll look at the. We're doing the final from the California Cafe in Billiards that took place in March, correct?
Yeah, March of this year, and it's funny now that I pulled the video up, but now that I'm here, I might as well pull the flyer and show you guys the flyer too, because that was the, you know, that was the event that we did. The California Open, there it is. And this is the one that was won. Well, should we say who wins? I mean, obviously.
They saw it. We saw it.
It's already been
It was a great match.
Yeah.
Pedro won it. Big surprise.
Yeah.
But Pedro,
actually, but it wasn't easy.
No, it wasn't easy. It was
a good match.
It went down to the end.
Yeah.
Pedro versus Robinson Morales of Colombia. It was a great match. I did the original commentary on this, but we could take another look at it, discuss some positions, and talk more billiards. And
yeah, definitely. Actually, we should have reviewed it too again.
Yeah.
Oh well. Maybe we'll stop the stream and review it and then come back in a half hour. No, just kidding. All right, so let's do it, man. Hey, thanks a lot.
Yeah,
thanks for discussing billiards with me.
Always.
And you know, you're always a guest here if you blowing through LA and you need
glad
need a helping hand.
Glad to have you guys as friends, and like I said, it's always fun to come to LA and see everybody, you know.
Yeah, thank you, man.
Yeah.
It's good to see you.
Yeah.
And hey, congratulations last night. You won that tournament over at Cal Cafe, didn't you?
Yeah. We
or split for first and second?
Split with Vicky Pineda.
Okay, cool.
And it was funny because he let me borrow his cue. So
right,
he was playing with a different cue, but yeah, it was a good time. We do it for fun.
Yeah, definitely, man. And that's the thing. If you gotta always have fun.
Mm-hmm.
Gotta always have fun.
That's right.
Okay, we're gonna wrap up. Thanks for watching this sort of pseudo news segment on billiards at Three Cushion.
Yeah.
But Alan's still with me, and we're gonna commentate this match coming up right now. It's between Pedro Piedrabuena and Robinson Morales. We're gonna do a redubbed commentary.
And we'll continue to talk about billiards.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, it's like we're still here. So
I mean, you know, we've seen this match before. We'll talk about it, and then we'll also talk about that tournament. If anybody wants to talk about any other tournaments that are coming up or just any general questions, you know, we can have a discussion too. It's more of a discussion.
Yeah. Open forum, I guess. All right. Thanks a lot. Stay tuned. Give us like 3 or 4 minutes to start this match because there's some audio stuff I want to work out real quick.
Okay.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody. Just enjoy this music while your party's being reached.